Girl, let me hold your hand when I say this. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Stop doing the same ish. We're not spending another year doing the same ish, okay? You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. It's not gonna happen. What do we call that? Insanity. We cannot expect different results doing the same stuff. So this year, we're switching it up. This is gonna be the last time we say, well, there's always next year. No, it's this year. This is gonna be no BS, straight to the point. We got a step system, okay? It's not ideas of a plan or concepts of a plan. We're making a plan. Okay, hey my girls, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, today we are talking about locking in, changing your life, making 2026 the year, okay? All the things we always say, we're doing it this time. One thing you need to do is pick a theme, okay? What is the theme of your year going to be? It could be a phrase, it could be a song, it could be a word, it could be a movie, it could be whatever. What is the theme of your year? After that, anything that you're doing this year, always pause and ask yourself, does this align with my theme? Would this be in the movie theme that I'm choosing this year? Would this be a line in the song of my year? Would this be aligned in the phrase? Would this be in the book of my year? And if it does not align with that theme that you picked for yourself, it does not happen. We don't receive it, we don't hold it, we let it go. It does not get pursued if it doesn't match that theme, period, point blank. Okay, this is where you get to decide, okay, what do I want my movie to look like this year? What chapter of my life would it be this year? I've heard this before. If your life were a movie, it is, and everyone was watching, what would the audience be screaming at you right now? What would they be screaming at you to do? What would they be telling you to let go of? What would they be telling you to chase? What would they be telling you to do, to operate as, to say to yourself, to do with yourself? What would the audience in the theater be yelling at the screen to you at right now? What would they be saying? That's what you need to think about. And whatever that is, you do. That is your theme, that is your push, that is your goal for this year. And we're sticking to that and nothing is getting in that way, period, point blank. Show yourself what you can do if you stay committed to what you say you're gonna do this year. If you stay committed to the theme, if you stay committed to your discipline, what can you do if we say nothing that doesn't fit this is coming in? Boundaries. Yes. Something else that would be super helpful is a what I'm not doing this year list. Yes. This is, I'm saying no to this. I'm not going here. I'm not doing this. I'm not talking to this person. I'm not continuing this habit or this perspective. I'm not saying these words. Basically what we need to do for this year is make a hot or not list. Okay. You need to make a list of your hots and of your nots, meaning all the things that we are doing, those are on our hots list. All the things that we are absolutely not doing, those are on our nots list. What are we not doing to improve self? Our hots list. What are the things that we are doing? Maybe we're spending more time on self-care every single night, non-negotiable. Maybe we're spending more time with friends. Maybe that's a non-negotiable, even if it's on the phone. Maybe once a week we have a call with a friend that we do not miss. It's scheduled. Maybe we are going on solo dates, spending a little bit more time with self, having picnics, whatever it is, once a week. What are our hots lists? What is it hot for us to do this year and that we have to do? That's gonna help you say, okay, these are the things I'm putting into my schedule, I'm putting into my life, non-negotiable. These are the things I'm absolutely not, non-negotiable. I think your brain would be more clear after saying, these are my harsh boundaries. This year should be a year of boundaries with self, boundaries with others, boundaries with your plan that will build self-trust, that will build discipline, and that will build all the goals that you are trying so hard to accomplish. So an issue you might be having is setting these goals, but they just feel so big that we don't have a sense of urgency on them. So it's like, well, this year I'm gonna do this eventually, but then it doesn't get done. That might be something that you have seen in the prior years of, I always set these goals, I always wanna do these things, and then I don't actually do them, and then the end of the year is just right there on me and I have to start all over again. That's because there's not a sense of urgency. You're making goals, but you have 12 months to accomplish them, so you don't think about them right away. There's no sense of, I need to do this right now. I do have the solution. There's a concept called the 12-week year that you need to start doing. There's a whole book on it if you want to read about it, but if not, I'm gonna give you the spark notes. Basically, what the problem typically is that when a new year comes, everyone's like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to plan for the whole year, the whole 12 months, this is what's gonna happen this year, yada, yada, yada. Realistically, probably not. You know what I mean? Probably by February, the plans start to unravel. That's because we're doing way too big of a time period to set the goal. We need to shorten it. So rather than a 52-week year, we need to be doing a 12-week year. What can we do to make 3-month goals? every season. What can we do? That is going to help you actually get them done. It's going to help you stay on top of it. And this is why. Your brain needs a deadline. And if the deadline is 12 months from now, your brain is like, we got some time. Okay? And then it creeps up on you, and then you're trying to get those goals in that last 30 days, and then you feel disappointed, and then that makes you want to start over for the new year, and we start doing this cycle. The way to get out of this, bring that deadline up. That way you feel a little bit more urgency, and then you can start to really plan it out. Okay, week 1, this is what I'm going to do. Week 2, this is what I'm going to do. Step by step, plan by plan. That is going to help you get to your goals. Making these big, long time periods allows you to be a little too lackadaisical. Okay, allows you to put your feet up a little bit too much. Okay, so basically we find goal or goals, plural. We're gonna put that into 12 weeks, okay? This is my 12 week, this is what I wanna reach by the end of the 12 weeks. Then we're gonna break that down into, okay, what needs to happen by the end of each week in order to get there? You're dividing the pie up. Then that breaks down into what needs to happen every day. And now you have a day-to-day plan. If your issue is that either you're not planning or I'm planning but it's not getting done, we need to plan and schedule better, and this is how. One thing that I feel like really changed my productivity and really helped me actually get my goals is having a day-to-day plan. Not a day-to-day plan of, I'm gonna go to the gym today, I'm gonna read a little bit of a book today, and then do some work. No. I plan out to the T, okay? I write down, let me show you. Proof's in the pudding. Okay, so for today, right? I have written down, do makeup, and then get dressed. That might not be something that you're writing down in your list because, for example, if you have a lunch to go to today, you might just write, get lunch with so-and-so. You need to account for the time that it's going to take for you to get up, get dressed, do your makeup. That is in my to-do list. That's at least an hour of my time. And a lot of where the stress comes from for people is when you are planning, but you're not thinking of the things that also take up some of that time. So maybe you wrote in 3 things for the day that you thought you had enough time for, but you didn't think about how much time it took to drive there, how much time it took to get ready, how much time it was going to take to unwind afterwards. Or maybe what was supposed to be done today now rolls over into tomorrow, then rolls over into the next day. And now you feel overwhelmed because the goals that you're making or the schedule that you're making is not actually attainable. It's not actually accounting for the time that you do and do not have. That's an issue. I also have in here, make lunch. Then I have eat lunch. Those are 2 different things. Me making the lunch might take me 30 minutes. Me eating the lunch take me at least 15, 20 minutes. That's together almost an hour of my day that I wasn't accounting for because you just think, oh, well, I'll eat lunch along the way. No, I need to write that down. And maybe right now your schedule feels like, oh my gosh, I write down what I need to do. I have a planner, I do this and that, but it still feels like it doesn't get done. It's probably because you're not accounting for how much time all the other little things take. Another reason you might be struggling in the new year, new me department, releasing. You are not releasing. You need to let go. Even if it's prying your fingers open, let it go. Whatever that thing is. It might be a job. It might be a friend. It might be a man. Probably. It might be a habit. It might be a mindset. It might be the way you talk to yourself. It might be whatever it is. You need to do a deep dive within yourself and say, what is the thing that has shown up year after year after year that has consistently not brought me closer to my goals, but probably made it harder for me to get there? Honesty hour with yourself. You know what I mean? There might be something that you know that you do that is counterproductive, but you're so comfortable in it now that it's just too familiar to let go. Sometimes we must release to receive. We're holding on to something so tight, our hands are not open to receive anything because we're holding on to something so tight. With the releasing, try to set a challenge for yourself. Sometimes the brain just needs a challenge, girl. Like sometimes the brain is like, yeah, I want to release it, but there's no pressure. Again, urgency, deadlines. That's going to be a big thing here. Set some type of urgency for your brain. For the next 30 days, I cannot do this. Period, point blank. Whatever it is, whatever that habit is, whatever you need to release, we're releasing it for the next 30 days. Then we can check back in and see how that affected us. Did it brighten anything? Did it lighten anything? Did it make anything easier to complete for you? How were those 30 days? If so, we continue for another 30 days. If not, we might not have found the culprit. Let's look again. We're also checking in with self. Okay? At least once a week, you're doing a weekly check-in. How did this week go? Where did I fall short? Where did I excel? What can I do this week to have an even brighter, better week? Are there adjustments that I need to make this week? It's a weekly meeting with self of how did it go. That is going to help you stay on track. That is going to help you focus on getting your plan correct, especially if we're doing that 12-week plan. If we're doing that, that weekly meeting is critical. See how we can stay on track and on time. We are also focusing less on reinventing yourself and more on returning to yourself. A lot of the times it's not about creating a new version of yourself or a new identity or a new brand. A lot of the time you've probably lost your true self along the way, and we need to find her. We need to go backwards sometimes, look at the path and see what we have missed. Where did little parts of you start to shift off and divert onto a different route? You might be feeling like you don't know who you are because you've lost the parts of yourself. It's not that you need to find new parts or recreate. Sometimes we need to revert and find who we were before the mess of all the world and the chaos got into the place. Things like journaling, things like having conversations with yourself that are uncomfortable. When you're having uncomfortable feelings, rather than just submitting to them, exploring them. Why? Asking yourself why? Those things are important. Maybe it's therapy. Maybe you need to get a therapist. I have a therapist. I love my therapist. Down, up, around, side to side. Maybe you want to find a therapist, but you don't know where to start. Maybe you start to use BetterHelp. Shout out to them for sponsoring today's video. That is a super useful tool in starting your therapy journey. I've told y'all about it so many times. Basically, all you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you will be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple days. That is all. Quick, efficient. It doesn't have to be this big, scary process. Also, you're not married to that therapist. So if you're like, this is not the vibe, I need a new therapist, you can switch out your therapist at any time, no cost. It's not about creating a whole new person with this whole new life. It's about small, consistent habits that help you become who you already are, that help you get back to self, that help you return to your core self. Consistency, discipline, that helps you build the self-trust to be who you are underneath this all. And maybe you need some help with that. That's fine. In the same way that reaching your goals for this year or reinventing yourself is not going to be this quick, easy fix, therapy isn't either. It's a journey. It's a process. It's lifting up all those layers. And committing to yourself for a process that isn't going to be overnight is a beautiful thing and a wonderful journey. It teaches you patience. It teaches you growth and lessons. And it might be the missing piece to where you're at right now. So if you've been considering, you can click the link in my description, or you can just go to betterhelp.com/Taty for 10% off of your first month. Yeah, no excuses. Maybe it's beyond therapy. Maybe it's just discipline between you and yourself. Maybe this is the time for you to really just lock in and show yourself you can do the things that you say you're gonna do. If you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I need to start a challenge with myself, but I don't even know what to do. I'm telling you, as someone who has done it, 75 hard is such a great reset challenge for your mind, body, and spirit. I'm not even playing with you. Maybe you try 75 hard. If you're like, girl, I don't know what that is. Basically, if I can find the rules, I'll just put them up on the screen. But basically, it's like 2 workouts a day, one of them outdoors. I'm telling you that outdoors one, as much as I dreaded it, it was wonderful. The sun, being out, vitamin D, just fresh air, chef's kiss. 2 of those workouts, a gallon of water a day. I'm not gonna lie, that one is very hard, but upping your water intake, I felt so much lighter. Reading every day. Reading is fundamental. We don't even have to go into that. Progress pictures to show yourself like, wow, I'm actually seeing the change. Sometimes when you see yourself, you don't really see the differences that are happening around you and within you. But if you are documenting it, you will see it. And then that progress will motivate you to keep going. And then I also think you just have to pick a diet. It's not even any specific diet. I just did no Uber Eats. That was good for me. And that helped me find more recipes at home. It helped me enjoy cooking. Like, your reason of doing it might be one thing, but once you begin it, it will show you all new things about yourself, maybe new passions. I'm such an advocate for that. If you feel like, girl, that's way too intimidating. I know that there's a 75 soft and it's like half of what that one is. I also know, if you haven't seen, I know Monet's doing a challenge now that's like 21 hotter. You can do it for 3 weeks. Go check that out. You have options. Starting is the point, okay? Starting somewhere. It doesn't have to be biting off more than you think that you can chew. Just starting, showing yourself that you're willing to do it. Stop talking about starting and start. That is the point. Sometimes you just need to throw yourself in it. You ever seen those videos where they'll just throw the baby in and just let the baby figure out how to swim? Sometimes you just gotta throw yourself in and you'll figure out how to swim. Eventually the body will start to ground itself and get its 2 feet under itself. You just have to start. We have to stop talking about starting it. Even if you don't want to do a full-on challenge, maybe you just have one promise that you keep to yourself every single day. Maybe every single day is, I'm gonna work out once a day, or I'm gonna read once a day, or I'm gonna cook once a day. Whatever it is, maybe we start with just one self-promise. This is gonna build that self-trust that you need to become who you're trying to become this year, to reach all the other goals. A lot of times the thing that's in the way of goals is discipline. So you might lack discipline because you lack self-trust. You might not trust yourself to stay disciplined, therefore we don't even try. Therefore we expect that we won't be able to see it through. Start with something small to build that self-discipline up. That way you will trust yourself to stay disciplined for the bigger goals that you might have. Does that make sense? That will motivate you. That will encourage you to start to chew bigger things, to take on bigger bites, to go for the bigger goals, to start to stay committed to them. Maybe you can't commit to them because the thought of seeing it through doesn't seem feasible. It is. We just have to start small. Let's start to build that trust up. One thing a day. Then we can add 2 things a day. Then we can start to move forward, Then we can make those things a little bit bigger. It starts somewhere. You don't always have to start at the top. Fear of not being the best at something when you started is what stops a lot of people from starting at all. You're not always going to be the best at something. It's okay to be a student. It's okay to be a beginner, to be a novice. That is where most of our lessons come in. That is where we start to stimulate the mind and get creative and think and position ourselves in receiving rather than always having to give. Receive the knowledge, be a beginner, so that we can grow, so that we can garner more knowledge about something to eventually become an expert. Or maybe not. Maybe we don't always have to be an expert at everything. That's just pride and ego. Starting is the point. You don't have to be a disciplined expert. You just can start. Maybe you need to separate your days out into hours. Like, okay, from this hour to this hour is when I'm doing my work, and when I'm doing this and that. From this hour to this hour is when I get to be creative. Maybe your brain works best that way. That will also help you reach your goals. Just sectioning them out so that your brain is working in the area that it's best at when it's best at. If you're somebody who likes to work out early in the morning, you like to get all your physical work done in the morning, that is your physical block time. If you are somebody that likes to do that at night, set it for then. Don't try to force yourself to be this morning 5 a.m. workout person if your body works best working out at 6 p.m. at night. Listen to your body, listen to your mind. If your body likes to be physical at night, let it be physical at night. Let that morning be your creative time or your work time or your time to just exist. Set your time up based off of noticing how your body thrives during the day, whether it's peak hours of energy, whether it's times where it needs a little bit of a reset. Set your schedule up day to day based off of that. I would say to do a week of research of self, being observant, taking notes. What do you like to do? How does your body perform at its best capability? And then we start to set the schedule up based off of those observations. One thing that helped me accomplish a lot of my New Year goals that I was able to look back on and say, wow, I did a lot of what I said I was gonna do, is not speaking like I'm going to be this person, but speaking like I already am. So I was writing down, who I wanted to become this year. And rather than saying, I'm going to become a woman who does this and that, or I want to be a woman who does this and that, I spoke in the present. I am a woman who. Speaking in the present of who I already am put my mind and body in that posture, and then I just was forced to show up as her. Something subconsciously, it just did something. Like, it just clicked in my brain, like, oh, I am that. Rather than always thinking that it's this unattainable thing that I'm trying to get to, speaking out as if it's already who you are. Because really, secret, it probably is. It probably is already within you. You're just thinking that it's not. So you're chasing something that you're really never going to get because you're trying to find it outside of yourself when it's already there. You're just not being able to grab it. You haven't found the ability to be able to grab it outside of self and to apply it. But it's already you. If you can think about it and you can think about who you're trying to become, it probably already is you. So rather than writing your goals down of, I want to be this, I want to be this, speak as if it is you. You already are postured in that if you're even having those thoughts. I am this, I am that. Like, I was writing down, like, I am a woman who romanticizes cooking, and I am a woman who romanticizes her health and fitness and all these things. And now I do those things and it's wonderful. And because I just told myself I'm already that, rather than always trying to become that. Does that make sense? These are my hard tools for what we're going to do to change your 2026, to actually achieve your goals this year, to stay disciplined and motivated. I'm watching you, okay? We're staying committed this year. We're not doing the same stuff that we did last year. That's done. Hopefully this helped you. If you were gonna take any of these tools and tips, let me know down in the comments. Let's have a little chat, and I will see y'all in the next one.